Okay, well, thank you everyone for tuning in. Welcome back to another episode of D&D with us, the NerdTots. If you haven't already liked and subscribed, hit all the buttons, do all the things. We really, really appreciate your support. Thank you very much. With that being said, kind of recap on our last session real quick where we left off. Our party was caught in the act, specifically one person caught in the act of stealing, but some quick lies and thinking and negotiation left them with a choice: either take down the raging, deformed giant or get arrested. They chose to fight and narrowly took down the giant. Just as the Durgar captain was about to take them in for questioning, another random Durgar ran up, claiming that the newcomers were needed for something immensely important. And that's where we are.
I'm just there like holding on to my wounds and like slouching over.
What does that sigil mean? What does that mean? Who's that?
To recap the details, the Durgar captain stepped back once he saw the emblem that the other one was holding, and the guy who was holding the emblem is beckoning for you guys to approach.
I go to him.
Jimjar he's a little bit dazed, but he also walks next to Drax.
Shu will slowly try and retrace his steps back and try and get to Ingris's body.
Hey,
Blind. You don't know what's going on.
Hey, Harvey.
Where's this one going? He's walking away. I need everyone here.
He's blind.
Harvey, do you mind grabbing Thunderboy, bad boy over there?
Oh, wait, the fireballs are still up because they last for 10 minutes because I'm concentrating on them. So I got a few more stuff on that.
So wait, you're engulfed in flame?
No, there's like fire orbs around me, just floating.
So descended to flammable. I can see him with like his lit area. All right.
So
Fine, I'll go get him.
Why are you helping us?
Well, I wouldn't say helping. And I think in the interest of making sure I don't have to repeat myself, I'll wait until everyone's here.
All right, and I go over to Shu.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
And Jimjar investigate this thing's body. Well, since we got a little time, then can you check the body and see if there's anything of interest on that massive thing?
You're right.
Yes.
Go investigate that body with him.
Okay.
All right, so while they're investigating the body, I go over to Shu as he's going over to Ingris, and I go, like, what are you doing?
Trying to get back to, because I know my connection with Ingris blew up when the spell landed, so I got to get back to him so I can bring him back.
Okay, what do you need? Now let's just make this hurt.
I need to get to his skull, which is what the conduit I use to bring him in.
All right, I'll just grab it for you. Hold still, and I go over and I just.
So you're all searching for something at the same time?
I'm going for Ingris's skull.
Lovely, but you're searching, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Jimjar and Drax are searching, and I'm assuming Shu is also searching, even though blindly.
Shu's way over there.
I would, like I said, I want to try and figure if I can try and retrace myself, the scuffle little by little. So I may not be searching, just maybe searching for my way back.
He's blind.
Still searching.
So
all of
the guy
you
said
investigation.
Yeah.
And Shu, you have disadvantage.
20.
17.
Nat 20 for 21.
With disadvantage 17.
Damn, that's good. And I'm sorry, so Harvey, you got a 20.
Yep.
He's looking for Ingris's skull.
You got a nat 20?
I got a nat 20, 21.
Put you at 21?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
21.
I mean, it sounds about right. It's a skull on the ground. It should be
so
not hard.
real quick, I'll kind of roll through this. Harvey, you're helping Shu find the skull. Obviously, both of you combined what you did. You have no trouble locating it and getting it back into Shu's hands. Drax and Jimjar are searching the body of the giant, and then Jimjar notices that a point on the elbow of the giant seems to be just a little bit more sharp and defined, as if there's something like under the skin right there at its elbow.
Can I use sleight of hand and just kind of, without really having too many people notice, just kind of surgically cut it open with my dagger to see if I could see what's underneath the skin?
You can roll for it.
I can roll for it.
Oh, I love you guys.
Well, that was an 11, but I have advantage, so I get to roll the cat. Oh, no, that was stealth. I have advantage on. I just have, what's it called? Proficiency. So that was an 11.
Sleight of hand?
Yeah.
Okay. You still cut into it. You were just trying to basically prevent anyone from noticing. And a couple of guards.
I wasn't trying to be like this. I was trying to be like more like just kind of,
Yeah, so a couple of guards do notice what you're doing, but they are not concerned with it at all.
Okay.
Yeah, they're just kind of like, oh, whatever. And
do I
just
successfully see what's underneath the skin?
You do, and it is a 4 or 5 inch long cylindrical rod that has some weird glyphs kind of imprinted on the side. They don't look like they were carved. They don't look like they were stamped. They look too natural. It's a little hard to tell. But as you're holding it, you can feel that there's definitely something, some sort of like power or force or something that is like kind of like emanating from this thing. You're not getting any sense that it's necessarily dangerous, but you can tell that it is definitely valuable and not what you would consider natural.
Okay. I kind of, because I know Drax is right there, I kind of shrug my shoulders and I don't give an indication as to what I feel 100%. I'm just kind of like, interesting. And because he's obviously right there with me. So I'm just going to go ahead and tuck that into my.
And I will say this, one end of it seems like it's got, it as you're looking at it, seems like it's just a little threaded kind of. And then the other end of it has a smaller tapered part as well that doesn't have any threads. Doesn't look like it has any threads. It's smoother.
Got it.
Can someone grab me a bone or a tooth or something, please?
Well, I slipped that into my vest.
Do I see him trying to make a sleight of hands?
If you're trying to hide it from Drax,
I wasn't, because Drax was right. Drax was right there, wasn't he?
Yeah, I'm searching the body with you.
Yeah, he's searching the body with me. So I'm going to acknowledge that I have it. He knows I have it. I'm pretty sure he saw it. So my thing is, I give him the like, could be interesting, and I tuck it away because now's not the time and place. I mean, Drax is smart enough to know now's not the time and place to talk about this.
Yeah.
At least that's the impression I'm trying to give you, Drax. Let's just shut up about this for right now. Is Shu back over with us?
I find anything?
But
no.
Ain't that about a bitch? I'll just grab a bone for a bony guy.
Hey.
Okay, so I got the skull, and I'm like, let's just head back.
Well, we got to talk to this guy first.
Well, yeah, we're going back to the guy. Like when I walk by the giant, do I notice anything, or I don't notice anything walking by?
No, I mean you see Jim Jar and Drax standing there at the side of the giant.
Okay, that's it. All right, cool.
So do we all reconvene in front of this guy?
Yes.
Hey, Harvey,
Yeah.
you got his skull, right?
Yep.
Can you put my hand on it and just put it in the robes for me?
I feel like I need an adult. Okay.
Harvey, just give him the bone he's asking for.
No, I'm asking him to guide my hand with the skull and put it into the robe.
He's asking me to put his hand on the thing and stick it in his robe.
No, in the robes that he was wearing. That's on the ground.
Okay, fine. Okay, right there, here.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna cast Minion of Bones to resurrect Ingress in his clothes. That way he can get his gear up and stand up.
Okay.
Yeah,
As you guys, so you guys are like now standing in front of that Durgar with the emblem.
Yep.
Okay. So as you're standing there, and the Durgar notices that you're all all in front of him, and he takes a big deep breath and is about to speak, and then another giant busts through the opening in the wall where the other one came through. This one, however, immediately you can tell that all of you can tell that there's a difference. Everyone, you kind of like your heads whip around to see what the noise was. And this giant, kind of stumbles in a little bit and looks at you, and you can see that there's intelligence behind these eyes. So it doesn't look at all like the other one that was just killed. And I think a more important point is it only has one head on its shoulders as well. It looks down at the body of the dead giant and drops to his knees and starts sobbing. And a few Durgar kind of come over to him and explain what's going on. You're not close enough to really hear the conversation, but they're kind of, talking, and the giant is kind of just like weakly shaking his head, like, kind of like just understanding what they're saying to him. Although that stopped the Durgar that is in front of you, who's wearing some really bright crimson silk robe. It doesn't look like he's wearing armor at all. This would be someone who's very easy to pick out of a crowd because it is just a brilliant scarlet color. He begins speaking and says, well, we've had enough interruptions. It's time for you to meet with the leaders of the Keeper of the Flame. I couldn't help but notice how formidable you were in taking down that giant, and perhaps there could be something you could help us with. And I'm sure you can understand that the alternative is that you end up going in for questioning. My way, you help us a little bit figure out what's some issues that we're having, and we can perhaps send you on your merry way. So if you'd like to, please follow me.
Look first.
Yeah, sure. Just real quick. Do you normally have just a bunch of giants running around through walls here? Because that's like you got two in one day.
We do have a pact with some of the giants in the area, the stone speakers. I'm not sure what happened to the one that you slayed, but the giants stone giants specifically are common in this area.
Right.
That's great and everything, but you care to heal us first before you send us on another mission.
Well, you won't have to go on the mission now. I'm simply going to be taking you to our leaders so that they can explain the help that we need. And I'm sure you'll have an opportunity to rest up before having to actually go and do it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, this is definitely better than jail right now.
Let's go.
Someone take kid by the hand or something.
Ingress is up, so I'm gonna have Ingress just kind of like guide me.
Oh, okay, good.
All right. As you guys start to leave, you hear big thundering kind of like, steps coming, and you turn around and the giant is approaching you now. The one that kind of came in and seemed upset and says, my name is Higram. I want to thank you for releasing my friend from his pain.
And was kind of out of control. Is that normal for you guys?
It's not. He was communing with the stone in Craighorn Cavern, and he just went mad. And as he was running away, he had what looked like a bulge starting on his neck, and I traced his steps and found him here.
Wait, you mean he didn't come that way? And I point at the second head. I point at the second head. It looks deformed.
No, that's deformed. I'm not exactly sure. He was, like I said, communing with the stone, and before we knew it, he went mad and ran down the tunnel away from us. And
how long ago was that?
10 minutes, maybe.
Oh, and then just kind of, shocked by that. And 10 minutes, and he grew an entire other head. And then I'm just, kind of like touches the place where he has that rod.
Either way, I did want to come and say my thanks before you departed. I imagine it was not easy, but Rehud is at rest now.
I go over to him like a little bit hunched, still in pain, and I go, I'm sorry for your loss, for your friend.
Says the guy who punched him in the back of the head 1,000 times, right? Kind of jab Drax.
Wait, was that able for me to hear? Did we all hear him say that?
It was kind of soft. It was just like this. Like, says the guy who, kind of one of them side things. Says the guy who punched him in the back of the head.
What so what was he talking to in the bar?
Huh?
You said he was speaking to a stone.
Yes, out in Craighorn Cavern.
What stone was he speaking to?
Well, not a specific stone. Communing with the stone is where we're able to kind of tap into the natural vibrations of the stone that surrounds all of us to gain a better understanding.
That sounds like a great drug or in tune situation.
It's certainly nothing like that. We basically open ourselves up to the elements around us.
All right, this is boring. Let's go.
Yeah, it's less head trippy than you think.
Okay.
Oh,
okay. So he.
What? Nice to meet you, big man.
Yeah, he nods and kind of like dejectedly, kind of like trods away, and just kind of kneels down at the body of his friend. And then, yeah, so at that point, the Duergar then kind of like motions for you guys to follow. And if you're all following, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I follow and keep an eye, look back at that other dude just in case I see him do anything to that body? Just keep glancing back as we're walking away.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And he's not actually even touching it. He's just kind of like, head bowed down.
You're the one with the rod that makes people grow other heads.
Hey, I'm trying to see if anything else starts to grow out of the giant's head. Just he was communing with the stone too.
Listen, if you start growing another head, I ain't got no problem killing you.
Noted.
So you guys are having this conversation as you're walking, and the keeper of the flame who's leading you isn't really giving you a tour, but as you're moving around, you notice that you are no longer in the district, the Dark Lake district, which was the place that was referred to as the safe place for outsiders. You've actually made your way into the inner sanctum of the Duergar themselves, because now at this point you see nothing but Duergar everywhere, which only tells you that there's probably dozens more that you don't see who are invisible. As you're walking through, you start to notice that these people are looking at you very strangely, more than likely due to the fact that it's extremely rare for outsiders to be allowed into this particular district. But as quickly as they look and glance at you, they notice who's leading you, and then very quickly look somewhere else and kind of go about their business, keeping their heads down. You travel for a few more minutes, heading to the deepest parts of this district, and eventually come to an enormous opening to a tunnel that the keeper of the flame who's leading you then stops and says, "Please continue on. You'll see Garlac up ahead," and he will begin to explain.
I'm gonna be honest, I've never been in this far before, so just saying, this doesn't normally happen.
Sorry, Gartakar is the name.
Garlac was easier. Gartakar.
You're saying when his name is Garlic?
It's Gartakar.
Garlic, got you.
Gartakar. Copy.
Gartakar. Okay.
Well, that thing's pretty cool and shoot points.
Oh, Shu can see again.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he can actually.
Oh, my thing's fizzled out up.
Yeah. I can see again.
So Gartakar looks like is he the same species?
Yes, he's also wearing robes. So you guys walk for a few more minutes before you start to see someone else. At the entryway of what you walked into was enormous, and it does get a little bit smaller, but not much. And you can't help but wonder, like, these Duergar are relatively small. Why would they need such a large entrance for such a big tunnel? It's a passing thought, because shortly after walking, you notice that there is another robed figure. This one has gold trim on the edges and the hem of the robe that he's wearing. And as soon as he sees you, he beckons you to come closer. And as you do, he's standing at the entrance of another tunnel that's just a little bit bigger than the one that you walked through before, which I would say is maybe 160 feet wide. This one's maybe 200 feet wide. Very, very large opening of the tunnel. And as you make your way to him, he, of course, beckons you. And then I will say, once you guys all get in front of him, he's just kind of just patiently waiting and says, "Well, I'm sure you're wondering why you've been brought here."
Yep.
I got a lot of questions.
So who would like to go first?
Who are you, and what's the organization you're with?
We are the Keepers of the Flame. We essentially make sure that all of the foundries, the smelters, all of the forges stay lit for us to keep our production going.
So what
we
does
are
that
the
have,
lifeblood of Dark Lake.
and what does that have to do with us?
Well, we have something very important to us was taken, and we need to retrieve it as soon as possible.
That's
in
very
order
cryptic.
For the forges to continue on for the centuries that they have already. It's important that this thing is found. And I can only explain so much more on that particular point, but what we're essentially asking your help with is to help us find what was stolen from us.
I'm gonna level with it. It sounds like a you problem. And unless we kind of have our own mission that we have to do now, and if we don't get that done, your problem doesn't even matter. Honestly, there you won't have a city left.
Ooh, Interesting. What mission are you referring to?
Again, I can't get too much details into it.
Okay. Well, then I assume that we're back at the same options you had before. We can have you be taken in for questioning under arrest, or you can hear out my master to see what else can be done.
Is this guy trying to
Drax.
you just try to blackmail us?
Sounds like it. Drax, that's not the deal.
Those
you
were
made,
the
is it,
terms.
Drax?
Those were the terms.
That we made were
the terms we made. We defeat the giant two-headed thing, which, by the way, we did. Harvey's tired. Harvey's been injured. Harvey's getting very agitated right now.
How much health you got on it?
They're gonna flash around a dragon emblem, making it look like they're all big to do, and they got nothing to go here.
And I popped him. I popped Harvey.
You really want to go this route again?
Listen, you gotta shut up. Damn. Fucking yay. We can.
Yeah, we could. Are you trying to strike? Are you gonna try to strike?
If you don't shut the hell up.
And here we are again.
Yes. Let's do this.
If I are you guys gonna do it or what? Because otherwise I'm gonna talk.
I will definitely lay him out again.
So this is Gartakar speaking. He's going to say, well, I am not getting the impression that you are a very cohesive unit.
But we're very effective.
Yes, absolutely. I could tell.
They don't listen.
My master and I were both magically watching what you did, and the level of impressiveness is what caused us to seek you out.
Well, I would say that we're not necessarily in our best form right now since we're kind of tired, like my friend here said. So how about before, I mean, we can kind of hear you out, but we also kind of need to, rest up. So if we'll hear what you got to say, right? I mean, it's nothing wrong with words, right, guys?
If you want, you can speak to a couple of us and let the other ones go to bed. We'll reconvene with our group and come back with our decision. Clearly, the Birdman is tired. He needs to go away.
If you hear my master out, we will make sure that you have safe and secure, and I think more importantly, secret lodgings arranged for you.
Considering that people go in and get questioned and don't really, guys.
Newcomers are fairly rare to Dark Lake, or to Gracklestug specifically. The Dark Lake district does have some non-Duergar in there, but they for the most part have been here for at least a few weeks. I have it on good authority that the general of our guard, Erd Blackskull, has been speaking to a drow priestess, and I can only say that I can understand your position in wanting to avoid any attention from the drow. So if you're looking for a safe place where you won't be disturbed, more importantly, where no drow know where you are, it would be wise to hear my master out.
Speaking to who?
Can I try and get a read on this guy?
You said your master.
Yes.
You said his master was talking to a drow queen, or
no, not his master.
With the head guard.
The general of the guard. The guards were the ones. This guy's part of the Keeper of the Flame. Yeah. And Shu, what are you looking for?
I want to see I want to get just a general feel if this guy is not so much lying, but if he seems very select with his words. So I want to see if he has any type of malicious intent behind them.
Okay, insight.
It's only a 13.
Your instincts are still telling you that something is just a little off. You can't tell whether it's bad or good, however. You can't really kind of find out where the feeling is coming from. You don't notice anything about this Gartakar person that would give you any clues as to which way it goes.
Harvey just goes, "Where's your leader? I'll just go to him. I don't give a damn anymore." Wait.
Please follow me.
Just know
whether or not you guys come with me, I'm going.
Just know that if anything happens to us, Grazalak is gonna come raise hell. I'm gonna throw Grazalak's name and see if he gets any if he acknowledges it at all.
Hey,
he's walking in front of you.
We're the only two sane people today.
Yeah, I want to see if it elicits any type of response.
I'm watching Drax. up to you, my man.
Shu, go ahead and roll me perception first.
Perception first. It's a 3.
A 3? Okay. So as soon as you drop the name, you are paying very close attention to Gartakar in front of you and can't tell if the name registered or if Gartakar really has just a really good poker face and is good at hiding things. Mm-hmm. It's impossible to tell.
Okay. The name's been thrown out, so I'm like, whatever. I'll just follow the bird.
Okay. All right.
I kind of do this to Drax. Like,
I don't know. I think the Birdman and the little kid is going to get us killed, but let's go. Don't want to leave them to set things off.
Yeah, we don't want them to mess this up, because if they do, we're in deep shit.
About them messing it up. I just think that they're going to get us killed.
Okay, so as you guys are following Gartakar further in, he leads you to a building carved from the stone just outside another huge cave entrance. This time the ground trembles slightly and a thunderous voice echoes against every wall. Gartakar. The voice calls as a reptilian behemoth comes into view. Its scales the color of lava. Its bright yellow eyes glowing in the shadows of the cave before coming into the light. You didn't say I was having surfacers for dinner tonight. The dragon chuckles at its own wit. His massive body gives the distinct impression that he is overweight, indicating eating habits that don't bode well. Foreigners, Gartakar says with great reverence, meet the father of flame, the ever-burning and the foundry's heart. Themberchod, the wormsmith of Gracklestone. And as he says that, Themberchod kind of spreads his wings, an enormous 300-foot span. This is an insanely huge red dragon.
I just pooped myself.
Harvey walks up a little bit forward ahead of the group, uses his feathers to brush off, whatever dust he has, takes a knee, bound ahead, but keeping eyes ahead, and in Draconic speaks to him.
Okay, what do you say?
Honorable Wormsmith, it is truly an honor to see you in this presence. My name is Harvey, and these are my followers. How can we help you?
By the way, Jim Jar goes,
Even I knew when he looked back to say that bullshit, whatever he just said was a fucking lie.
Themberchod says, Gartakar, I wish to speak with him alone. Leave us. And Gartakar kind of looks a little quizzical, but does as he's commanded. And then Themberchod says, and take any of your invisible friends with you. If I sniff anyone else in here, I will turn them to ash. And with that, you see some of the gold, by the way, which I need to describe. Themberchod is surrounded by gold. There's big, huge piles of it, and an extremely massive one that is like right next to him. And as he issues that last command, you can see some gold coins kind of clinking as if someone's walking by them that you can't actually see. And a few seconds later, Themberchod then bows his head and says, we are alone.
Jim Jar physically moves his hands down over the front of his pants, trying to hold his erection as it's coming up slowly. He's trying to just calm himself down.
Ingris kind of like steps in front of Shu just a little bit, so that way you like a little bit more ahead and kind of in front of Ingris, so just kind of cover him a bit.
So, how is it we can assist you? Still in Draconic.
When he's speaking, he's not speaking in Draconic to you. He's speaking.
Oh, I know. I'm doing it more as a try to flex. Like,
gotcha.
That I know this knowledge.
But he speaks to everyone, I would say, in Undercommon. So if you don't know Undercommon, you might need someone to translate for you.
I don't know Undercommon.
Flex reversed.
I don't know Undercommon either.
That's okay.
I do.
Fucking A, the little kid is the one translating for us.
No,
so he's
no. I'll translate as well. Don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've for some time that the Keepers of the Flame have been hiding things from me. I don't know exactly what, but what they are going to ask you for is to find what was stolen, which is a red dragon egg. They have suspects already of who they think have taken it. What I ask of you specifically, and will grant you my protection in all its glory, as he spreads his wings again and shoots fire up from his mouth.
Nice trick.
What I ask for is that you inform me before you inform the Keepers. I need to be kept in the circle of intelligence.
So I kind of paraphrase that over to Harvey and Drax. So basically they took an egg, a dragon egg, and they've been keeping secrets from this guy. He wants us to keep him in the loop about getting this egg. But that spurs a lot of questions.
You don't have any trust within your own rank.
Trust is hard to come by in the Underdark.
And
speaking of which, what are your names? I must know about you.
Well,
starting with you, and he points at Harvey.
Is that in Undercommon or in Draconic when he says that?
Undercommon. So he says all this stuff and then points at you.
Okay, Birdman, your turn to tell him your name. Introduce yourself. Go for it. Show off.
My name is Harvey Al Birdman, practitioner of the ancient ways of the dragon.
He kind of tilts his head up a little bit and then kind of continues to nod. What is your background? What is your story, Birdman?
Sadly, when I was brought to this world or cave, I was injured and I do not remember my past. I remember all my skills, and I remember your gloriousness, why it is I practice this style, but I can't remember who I am before this. I was robbed of my memories when I was brought here.
So you just woke up in the Underdark?
Essentially. I woke up in a cave, in a cell by these drow.
Ah, yes, okay. Prisoners.
Formerly.
And how did you find your way to Gracklestone?
We escaped. We were with others. We traveled, fought our way out, ended up at a village full of myconids, the mushrooms peoples, as the best I can describe, and we had to fight our way out of there too with a new enemy that we met there, potentially worse than the drow. And then we were told that here might be a way that we can help stop that enemy as well as find our way back to the surface.
Tell me more of this enemy you speak of.
Well, I think he's saying this in Undercommon, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, you understand it no matter what.
Right.
Right.
So I'm just So I'm just kind of saying he wants to know more, guys. He wants to know about, the Red Queen and all that stuff. I mean, at least why we're here. I kind of want to make sure that everyone can understand what he's saying.
Jim Jar's basically like the redubbing the entire speech.
I'm assuming that Harvey's being pretentious and saying all this back to him in Draconic so that no one understands that he's telling the story so far.
Well, I can't speak
Correct.
Undercommon, so it's not like I can speak it back.
But
to
you can
everybody.
speak common.
Speaking back to him in Draconic, yeah.
Yeah.
So for your part of this, you don't need any, translation or anything.
Exactly.
So he's basically telling our life story and how we got here, and he's about to tell about the Red Queen to the big guy.
The Karina.
Before we get to this enemy,
yes,
and he points to Shu. You, who are you?
Someone that got stuck down here. Hi.
What is your name?
My name is Shu.
How did you find yourself here in the Underdark? Were you also a prisoner?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How long have you all been traveling together?
Not long.
His
answers are very, very short and very.
Were you all prisoners?
I'm also translated for the other two. He's asking if we were all prisoners and stuff.
Some of us, I guess.
You all came here for the same reason?
we're more kind of forced to come the same reason. Why are you so curious?
Thimberchod visibly seems to be controlling himself.
I poked the
Closes
kid.
his eyes, and all you can hear is a very low but deep reverberating growl that is kind of just coming from his entire body. And when he opens his eyes, he's looking directly at Shu. And Shu, you hear his voice in your head. Test me, little one, and find out.
I will.
I'm
I'm gonna cast message so I can telepathically speak back to him. I have almost died many times, and I'm tired of different people dictating my life and what needs to be done, and I'm tired of questions. I just want to be done with everything. So if you're gonna do something, do it.
Tell me what you came here for, because it may be within my power to grant it to you.
I want to go home, or up, not home per se. Don't have one. I want to get out. That's why I'm here. However, they've wrapped us and dragged me along after getting free of the drow to now try and stop this fungal demon queen from merging with something else. If it was up to me, I let everything down here fend for themselves until that shit comes up to the surface, and then I have to deal with it. I could care less.
This is all a mental conversation, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. And then after Shu finishes that, Thimberchod then says out loud again in undercommon and points to Drax and says, your name.
I translate.
My name's Drax. How can I help you?
Why did you come to this city?
It has the transport to go to my next area.
Okay, so you're looking for a way to the surface as well.
Yes, I am.
This I can definitely help with. Thimberchod then points at Jimjar. You are not a surface dweller.
Nope.
Why did you come to this city? Surely you don't look to go to the surface.
Well, to be honest, your dragon ship, I was kind of ringing with these guys, and let's put it this way. And he looks around at all the gold. I mean, if I had your loot, I would totally stay. But right now, there's a lot of money in going to the surface and getting them up there. So I'm kind of trying to, change my wealth status here.
Yes, the sort of motivation I can certainly understand and appreciate.
You're my kind of dragon.
Excellent. Okay, we must talk of this enemy. Who has the most knowledge? All of you feel free to speak. What is this enemy, this demon you're speaking of?
Who has what? What?
The most knowledge of the demon.
She's a demon lord of the Queen of Rot.
She would have the most information.
She is trying to come into our realm by merging with that giant fungus, the giant mushroom deity that they have from their kingdom, right? Jimjar?
No, it's not the mushroom. It's like a whole network thing. Some tree of life thing that's
that's
all
what
through
a
here.
mushroom is a network space.
You, the little guy, has the most information, not the bird guy.
Right. My turn, I guess. Well, it'd be helpful if I had
Birdman down some notes. To the dragon. He doesn't want to talk to you.
It would help if I had kept the notes about that. One
You're
main
speaking
thing.
of Zugmoy.
Yeah, Zakmoy. Yeah, that guy over at the hominids thing. So she's trying to merge with Zakmoy, and then she's working her way down past the Dark Lake towards the other city with the other dude. Sorry, I'm a little intimidated right now with the whole dragon and gold thing. But yeah, basically, if she merges with the other guy, it's gonna be game over for the rest of us.
A demon lord bound to the material plane, unable to be banished, is definitely a cause for concern.
She's also managed to turn an entire race of people into basically her mindless slaves.
So what you guys had been described to before was this sick, perverted wedding that would basically enable Zugmoy to merge with the huge, massive fungus organism known as Armikos, which would be a bad thing. I don't know exactly what y'all's plan was for stopping that, if that's what you're choosing to do.
We had not come up with a solid plan yet.
Then we'll cut back.
We had no plan.
Sean.
Yeah.
What are
we
your
did.
plans to resolve this?
If I may, we did make a couple contacts that were going to do some research and get back to us about possible options. But right now, honestly, we're just trying to slow her down.
Contacts? Which contacts?
An Ithalid named Grazalak and his brotherhood.
The SOBs.
Themberchaud's head perks up. You can tell that he recognizes the name. Ah, the Society of Brilliance.
Yeah, the smart guys that zip in and out of places. Those guys.
They have no nation that they answer to, no common goals other than knowledge, as far as I can tell. But certainly, if anyone can find an answer, they can.
Well, can I ask a question about you, Your Excellency? More about this red egg. So it seems like there's a lot going on here. You probably don't get out much, do you?
I do not. They bring me everything I need.
So how would you know that the egg wasn't stolen by somebody in your own camp?
My followers have no need to deceive me.
Do they?
But they haven't told you everything either. Otherwise, you wouldn't have us telling you stuff.
You do bring up a good point. I would say that all I need from you right now is to do as they ask, but report everything to me first.
And this egg, is it like yours personally or like a girl you hooked up with at some time ago?
I'm not exactly sure where they got the egg, to be honest.
Oh, it's okay. It's not like you like laid it yourself or anything. Okay, cool.
No, I did not.
Okay. So he can give us a ride up apparently, or get us up out of here. And that might come in handy. You've got a lot of cool stuff in here. Is there anything in here that we might be able to use at some point to maybe make this egg hunting thing easier? And Jim Jar's looking at like gold things and shiny things over there. And
Weapons.
So the same growl that Themberchaud did when Shu was kind of mouthing off a bit, he does again, but this time in a much more menacing way. And
not that I was going to touch your stuff.
Stares at you and starts like tapping one of his huge talons on the stone floor.
Hey, your stuff, not going to touch it. Was just wondering if there was anything up here that you might not miss, but that's okay. It stays right there. Mea culpa.
The keepers will make sure you are compensated.
Sweet. And then Jim Jar just kind of backs up a little bit. Just kind of,
Hey, before we, I guess, get out of here and do what you want, what does Ulna mean anything to you?
No.
Okay. Well, great talk, I guess.
I'm going to DM real quick. Ulna?
Isn't it Ulna or Ulnus, something like that?
He's trying to say the rod's name. It's Unus.
Oh, Unus.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to.
Unus? Okay.
Ulnus, yeah.
So retcon real quick. So you said Unus. His head again kind of like peaks up much in the same way that when you mentioned the name Grazalak. What you have, you would only mention if it was in your possession. But what you have is extremely dangerous, but may be the answer to help you. You only have just the one.
Yeah, we have one rod thing, and so far it's done nothing.
I can't steer you in any specific direction. All I will say is if things start to come together, seek me out. Now, be gone. And he kind of waves his talon and then calls in, Gartakar, come. And a minute later, Gartakar walks in and Themberchaud basically designates Gartakar as your liaison and orders him to provide you guys with a few things. So you follow Gartakar back out away from Themberchaud's lair, and he opens up a box and then starts handing these golden badges to you that look very much like the symbol and the emblem that he was showing, that have like an outline basically of Themberchaud on them. Gartakar says, well, you will have the ability to freely roam through Gracklestug. If you are stopped by any Durgar patrols, simply show them these badges and they will know that you are working for the Keepers of the Flame. And unless you're doing something illegal, we'll let you go about your way.
Oh shit, we're screwed. Quick question. This thing that Thundercar told us to look up, are you going to give us any information about that or also payment?
The details will certainly come. I am curious, however, and he kind of like squints his eyes a little bit and starts looking around at all of you. But first, I would like to know what was discussed after we left the room.
I mean, not much. He just wanted to know who we are, like where we came from. You know, he doesn't get out much. You guys really need to like get like a looking mirror or something in there for him to just see what's going on outside.
Well, that was all.
Pretty much. I mean, he says you're going to ask us for about something to go look for, and he's like, he could help us out.
Okay. All right. We are looking for, I'm assuming he told you, a red dragon egg. It most likely was stolen by another faction in Gracklestug called the Grey Ghost.
Grey Ghost.
The red dragon egg is essentially a replacement for Themberchod.
Replacement? I don't. Last time I checked, dragon eggs can't breathe fire, and it takes a while for a dragon to grow. So I mean, like, you don't mean like short-term replacement.
Themberchod is not. Dragons are not immortal. There will be a day in the future where he will expire, and we need to have a replacement ready to take over. Otherwise, the forges go cold and dark, and then so does the city.
Okay, makes sense. Insurance, copy.
You must be careful. The Grey Ghosts are technically a thieves guild. And whatever tricks or things that your companions at least learned on the surface, things work very differently, as you know, in the Underdark. So just be careful. But I think your search should probably start with the Grey Ghosts.
All right. I'm assuming you're going to give us some sort of map of the city so we can figure out where that might even be. We could kind of don't know the layout, something that kind of shows us like Grey Ghosts over here kind of a deal.
You also promised us lodging where we can rest.
That point. What he said.
Yes.
Safely.
I'm assuming this
walk
is
with
all
me.
under
I'll take you there now and provide you a little more detail. So he starts taking you guys back to the Dark Lake district, which is the district that is safe for non-Durgar, like, other races. And then he's taking you to the only inn in this particular district, and essentially says, well, the proprietors are aware of your circumstances and are loyal to the Keepers of the Flame. So if anyone's asking questions about who's staying with them, your names, your descriptions, your likenesses will not be mentioned.
That's great. And by the way, he was talking common from like before, right? So everyone understood what he said.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So there you go, Don. I don't have to explain it.
Okay.
So essentially what we're looking for is for you to infiltrate the Grey Ghosts, confirm that they were involved in stealing the egg, and then figure out, if you can, how they did it, but most importantly, to bring back that egg to us. And it's of utmost importance, simply for the fact that the Keepers of the Flame, we have psionic abilities, and we have sensed a great disturbance in the Underdark.
Yeah.
I can only describe it as the sensation or the feeling of a hole having been torn through the world, the fabric of reality.
Probably because you're all going to die soon.
Don't mind my optimistic friend here.
Die of what?
Death. I mean,
we're all going to die sometime, right?
What do you know?
Apparently more than you, and that's fine for now. That's where we'll leave it at.
But you need this egg, and we need lodging. And by the way, is there? And he looks at Drex. Weren't we on our way to a store before all this broke out? We kind of need to look at weapons and such. Anything you guys can help with?
You do want us to infiltrate a guild of thieves.
You're welcome to buy anything that you need with whatever coin you have.
And no additional coin for like mission allowance?
If you come back with any relevant information, there will be a proper compensation.
Yeah. Well, normally there's like a little advance or something just in case we die. I'm just saying.
Big things are happening in the Underdark. Something is happening. We all feel it here in Gracklestone. If you pay close attention, you'll notice the signs. The only thing that's important right now is that the forges keep going, that we have a plan in place, and that the Grey Ghosts are punished. And he yells this part, punished for their involvement. Nothing else matters.
Anger issues.
And I thought she was pissed. All right.
And he turns on his heel and starts stomping away.
I comically see that in my mind, just like marching stomp. But anyways, all right.
He
So,
point us in the direction of the guild or whatever.
no, let's go to the inn.
As he turns his back and walks away, would like all of you to roll a perception check for me, please.
15.
17.
Jim Jar is still thinking about the
Seven.
gold. He got a 9. Jim Jar's still thinking about the gold. And he's like, oh my God, you know what I could have done with it.
All right. So, Chu, you had a 17, right?
Yeah.
Okay. On your roll,
Wow.
as Gartakar kind of storms away and even seems to be arguing with himself a little bit, you notice that something slipped out of his pocket. You walk over to pick it up and you can see that it's a map.
Nice. Okay, so we have the Grey
And
Ghost Garden.
if you can tell, it looks like there's already some information on this about the Grey Ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Obelisk, the Dire Den, the Garden, Cultist Pens.
Hey, he left. Did he leave yet?
Yeah, the guy,
he's
he dropped the
walking
map
away.
and left.
He's gone. Okay, cool. Guys, we didn't even ask him how long it's going to take us for us to do this. Like the dragon obviously is not going to hatch tomorrow, so it's not like we gotta.
I mean,
Well,
can we
there's
tell
sense
what
of
time of the
urgency,
day
might-
it is?
We're in the ground.
No, like kind
no
of like
choice.
before, you can only go by your level of like exhaustion, like how tired you are.
It's late. Late
Jim
enough.
Jar would probably be able to give you a better idea just because he's a little more familiar with the Underdark.
Okay.
And Jim Jar would know that right now it's kind of going towards the evening. You can even see some of the activity in the district that you're in right now is starting to kind of like taper down.
Okay. So I'm going to say, guys, listen, we essentially killed a 2-headed giant, met up with a like elder dragon fire lord, whatever you want to call him. Don't ever let him hear me talk about him like that. And we're all exhausted and we have this new task ahead of us. Let's just take a rest. We're here at an inn. I mean, unless you guys want to go shopping, I'm just going to crash in a room.
Yeah. To be honest with you, I'm cool with taking a quick rest and then going shopping. Drax, what do you want to do? Because I know we could all use a little up. Like he looks at his arrows and stuff like that. They're like, yeah, I'm running low and I need some stuff. I need some stuff.
Yeah, I need some stuff as well. By the way, I rolled up the map and I stuck it in my my gear for now.
Let's take a rest.
All right, cool. Rest, then shopping. Yes. Woo. Because and Jim Jar kind of feels how he feels. He still feels all the pains and the thing and the singeing. And he looks over at Shu and he's like, because
I feel fine. I'm stretching a little bit.
yeah, I could use a little licking of my wounds.
Okay. So
All right, so Harvey, you're heading to the inn.
yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think
So as you're walking,
I think we all decided
We all
would stop
are.
for
you
now.
all are okay.
Yeah.
So as you're walking your way into the inn, Harvey, you notice out of the corner of your eye a Darrow on the corner who definitely looks like he was watching you guys. And as soon as you turn your head to actually look at him, he quickly scurries and runs around the corner. And I guess next time we come back, we might find out what that's about.
Ain't that about a bitch?
Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Doses.
Bye.